One of the issue which has been under scrutiny and many critics questioning is the issue of the globalization by the Western country and in particular the United States. We have for the past maybe 2 decades we have seen significant tendency and movement towards globalization, which in fact uh, match the values and quality of the Western democracy. Uh, since one of the uh, questions that many nations put towards American and European is the cultural hypocrisy that if you value democracy, if you value the human rights, if you value the freedom, why don't you expand this globally, not only from the trade point of view, since we know that the globalization in trade increase prosperity, both for importing and exporting and giving and receiving countries. Uh, and then there has been significant movement in Europe and in the United States with regard to this globalization. However, there are some questions that uh, not considering into account the uh, issues with regard to the other countries globally, meaning countries with more religious doctrine, countries in the Eastern Bloc with communism and Marxism as their main governmental agenda. Uh, and then because of the changes in the many countries politically and socially resulted in the poverties and a relocation and dislocation of the group of people, which has resulted in mass immigration. That this mass immigration has created a parallel societies. We have seen this particularly in Europe. In America, we have seen it less, but we have seen these parallel societies in France, uh, for example, in Marseille. If you go and pay attention and to visit Marseille, you see a totally different world. In many of the part of the England, you see the same thing, and even in London, in our country, in Michigan and in Chicago, in Minnesota, and there are many other states that they are some Arabs population. We have Somalian population, and in fact, we created a parallel society. The question is, uh, what are the elements of this parallel society that we should consider in order to create some equality and fairness to all population. As a result of that, there is this concept of political correctness that seems to be kind of floating around for the past few years, that some of the idea that needs to be refined or rectified cannot be manipulated because politically does not sound right, particularly for that parallel society. And as a result of that, there are some political and social dichotomy in many of the countries and cities. As a result of this dichotomy, this always see there are a group of other people uh, that might have a different political and social agenda, and as a result of that, they are involved in some social unrest. And we see this in Europe, we see this in America. We have seen recent unrest in Los Angeles. We have seen it in New York and some other cities. Is not related to the Republican and Democrat. It's nothing to do with Biden being president or Trump being president or Obama was the president. It's just the uh, characteristic of this parallel society that is defined by this dichotomy. And as a result of that, any pressure or any push towards uh, creating more harmony and exerting values being translated to putting pressure, putting political incorrectness and fairness. As a result of that, many politicians and many citizens usually uh, back up because of the fear of the backlash. The question is globalization that is being pushed by the West. Uh, is it a global agenda based on technology and ideology, or it's only technology or trade, or combination of trade, ideology, and the technology? As we have seen, many countries are involved in exporting their revolution, their ideology. As a result of that, has created uh, the unrest and turmoil in many uh, Western country, basically challenging the Western value with regard to the democracy, freedom, and freedom of choice. The question is, where is the balance, and what is the element that created this balance to not only expand the agenda of globalization, but also create some sort of harmony and peaceful transformation and the not only transformation but also changing the societal value towards accepting not the Western values but the democratic value and just human rights values that is dictated by many organizations uh, that deal with the human dignity, such as United Nations and many other organizations. Uh, in review of the some of the event in Europe, we'll see the fear of this parallel society that somehow because of the lack of coordination and maybe different agenda, some of this parallel society has moved more towards radicalization and fear of retribution towards the local populace. In any rate, many critics uh, uh, criticize this process as a result of the host country lack of uh, creating opportunity and possibility for this parallel society to be integrated into the host country and motherland. However, one thing that is missing is the difference in ideology, difference in religion, difference in language, difference is cultural. So the whole idea is, and the whole question is, does Western country need a political reset? Do we need a political reset to reconsider, not to abandoning the globalization, but resetting the globalization, resetting this political integration, and resetting the way we deal with the different countries. One of the issue that many raised as a question is that the Western country has some values and some political agenda, but what is the political agenda by many other countries? And not every country is independent. There are significant amount of the interdependency between different countries. Some countries are bound by ideology and religion. Some countries are bound by financial tie to the different countries. The communist Russia and communist China has totally different agenda, and their satellite countries might not have the same idea of the globalization. So the question is, should the West has different globalization agenda that could deal with a different approach towards those countries that do not see eye to eye like us? That's a almost $1 million question, and nobody can answer it. However, because of this globalization, because of this parallel society, we have witnessed many unrest in our universities, in our cities, destruction of the properties, and also one of the aftermath of this parallel society is the some sort of separation of political harmony in our society. Now, where we have conservative and we have liberal, we have progressive, but as an American, we are under one flag and under one value, democracy and freedom. So why do we have parallel societies? Let's talk and then come up with a solution. See what we should do in future to stay politically correct, or sometimes is okay to be politically incorrect. From my point of view, political correctness is not always the right way to go, because sometimes it might go to somewhere that you don't want to be, or you don't want to end up, particularly when there are so many unknown uh, factors. They're all evidence based, by the way. The factors with regard to the different ideology, for example, Muslim ideology, Christianity, Judaism, communism, many different ideology that none of them necessarily is straightforward. Uh, we will talk about these issues in future more.